What are you saying? You take every tzaddik who ever lived not in Israel and you turn him into a Rasha? What are you, out of your mind? We have a paragraph called ASHRAE. Well, it's really called Tehillah L'David, but ASHRAE, right? And a good Jew is supposed to say it 3 times a day. And the Gemara says a person who says it 3 times a day is guaranteed a position in the world to come.
So they can be general people.
Okay, that has to be understood in context, and I can't go into it now, but obviously with a limitation, right? Obviously. Because it also says, just to give you an example, it also says, V'chiper ad maso amo. That's a pasuk. V'chiper ad maso amo, which is interpreted to mean his land, ad maso, kiper, will provide atonement for amo, his nation. And the rabbis say from there, anyone who lives in the land of Israel, all his sins are forgiven. Because it says, V'chiper ad maso amo, and his land atones for his nation. Now, so the Jew can live in Israel and do whatever sins he wants, and he's forgiven for that? Obviously not. What's the proof? Because once we lived there, we sinned, and then we were punished. So it can't be. But our rabbis say it is so, because that's how the verse is understood. So what do you mean? Within limitations. Within limitations, in its proper context. Everything. This is a very big problem that people do, is they take one statement from a pasuk, from a statement of the sages, from a rabbi said something, and they make it a slogan, and they build a religion around it. And they say, look, it says that. This is the principle that can never be broken. And it's like, well, you know that's contradicted by like 10 other sources. You have to understand it in context. It doesn't mean to the extreme that you would like it to mean. It means within a context, right? All these things. A person who doesn't live in Israel is like one who had no God. So there are certain sectors of the Orthodox community that like to throw that at other sectors of the Orthodox community, right? And, oh, really? So let me see. So Moshe Feinstein didn't have a God, and Rav Victor Miller didn't have a God, and Rav Mollot didn't have a God, and Rashi didn't have a God, and the Alababsha Rebbe didn't have a God, and the Samar Rebbe didn't have a God. What are you saying? You take every tzaddik who ever lived not in Israel and you turn him into a Rasha? What are you, out of your mind? They didn't learn Torah either. They didn't know that it said that. It's within a context. People can build whole religions around single statements. It's a very big problem of fundamentalism and extremism. When I first met my rebbi, I walked into the shul. I was not a shul goer. Okay, something about me. This goes back, I don't know, 20-something years. Not much of a shul goer was I. But I happened to be with a friend. We walked into the shul. I had heard that there was a new rabbi, whatever. His name is Rabbi Moshe Pluchak. Anyway, I introduced myself to him, but then he also saw that I was holding a certain literature of a certain sect within Judaism, I'm not going to name. And when he saw me holding this literature, he looked at me and he said, rule number 1 in Judaism, be normal. Okay? So if you walk away from my class with nothing else, rule number 1 in Judaism, be normal. So that means when I say that a person who says ASHRAE 3 times a day is guaranteed a place in the world to come, because it says so in the Gemara, be normal. Let your understanding of that statement be put into a balanced context. Rule number 1 in Judaism, be normal.